The NHL is expanding to 34 teams, from 32 to 33 to 34. And it's not a matter of if, but when they get that 34th team in the NHL. The realities of the NHL are that they have 7 Canadian markets, which means there are a lot more North American markets available to the NHL than the other 4 major North American pro sports. MLB has 29 American teams, the NFL has 32 American teams, and the NBA has 29 American teams. That means the NHL has to catch up in terms of American markets they are in. That is a reality that a lot of hockey fans have been coming to grips with over the last couple of years. And last week, we got even more confirmation that it is going to happen. An ownership group out of Atlanta plans on building an arena in north of Atlanta to be specific, in South Forsyth. It is a $3 billion development. Last Wednesday, we got confirmation that they got the thumbs up to do this whole development. And the whole development is anchored by an NHL arena that they're hopeful to get a team and put in there so that they can have their full development and that sort of stuff. Bill Daly in the Sportsnet article said that there are some hopeful owners we've talked to more than others. There's a lot of interest, which I think we're gratified with. So that's Bill Daly on the potential for expansion there. The NHL, expansion is on their mind, and they've talked about it heavy over the last couple of years, as I said. And as I said, the fans are realizing that, and I don't think the fans are as excited as the owners about expansion. I feel like it's been a mixed bag in terms of hockey fan reaction as opposed to the universal thumbs up for the owners for expansion. And the reasons for expansion are the main one I outlined, the markets that are available to the NHL to get into, and also just the money. The money is such an easy thing for these owners because when you sell an expansion fee to the new prospective owners, they just pay it. They pay it and it goes into the pockets of the current NHL owners. I'm going to look up the expansion fee. I don't have it on the top of me. Expansion fee for Seattle Kraken. I believe it was $650. I wanted to make sure I had that number right. It was $650 that the Seattle Kraken paid in an expansion fee to join the NHL. The rumor is that when the NHL introduces their 33rd team and 34th team, those two markets will be paying $1 billion in an expansion fee. The Vegas Golden Knights, I believe, paid $500. Seattle paid $650, and the next level is $1 billion for a franchise fee. And that money is not split with the players. It does not count as hockey-related revenue, HRR. It is simply money that goes into the pocket of the other owners of NHL teams. And that is why I think these owners love expansion so much. But is expansion good? Is this something we should all be happy about and cheering? I'm going to outline some of the potential issues with expansion. It's something that's happening. So it's whether we agree with these issues, whether we think these are real issues or not. Eventually, we're going to have to come to grips that it's a reality. They're getting 2 more teams. The idea that it's just all good is not true at all in my mind. Let's start with the longer season that's on the horizon. The NHL is looking to go to 86 games on the calendar, 84 or 86, depending on what reports you're hearing and who you're talking to within the game. 84, 86 will make sense with the more teams and how you're dividing the game. So we're getting a longer regular season, which already is mattering a lot less than in years past. This past season, the Florida Panthers, who are the best team in the NHL, they just tanked the last half of the regular season. I did not tank in the traditional sense, but they were very injured. They did not prioritize those games for the last 2 months, and they said it's fine. As long as we're in the playoffs and we're comfy in a playoff spot, as long as we get there, we know what we can do. And then they're in the Stanley Cup final. As slowly as this thing chugs along, you realize how little the regular season means in the NHL specifically, because these teams turn to different beasts once the playoffs hit. So if expansion means that we get a longer regular season, I don't see how that's a good thing. In the longer regular season, because you're adding 2 more teams, and if they're all playing 82 games, let's say when the 34 teams are added, or even 33, and it's still 82 games, the more teams but the same number of games would mean that there would be less trips by teams to markets. Like, the schedule will have to be rejigged so teams play each other less. And I don't know if that's a positive or a negative for you, but like, I feel like I like when all the teams come by and you get to see them a comfy amount right now. And I don't know if taking away maybe some of the Eastern Conference games out of division games is a good thing, or maybe the interdivision games. Like, are we getting less Toronto-Montreal? Are we getting less like Boston-New York, original 6 matchups, that sort of thing? Add to that, how confident are we in the player pool available for these expansion teams? Because expansion teams means expanded rosters, and expansion is great for players. There's, what is that, 40 more jobs? What are, like, you get on the ice, you get all the players on the ice, but then just the extra bodies of the rosters and the people in the system, like 50 contract slots you can have in an organization. There's 100 more contracts to hand out for these 2 teams if they maximize all of their contracts. 100 more jobs for NHL players for growing the game. That's fantastic. And at the end of the day, I'm rooting for that. I'm rooting for the guys who are on the ice battling things out, and you get 100 more slots for those guys. That's great. Are we sure that the skill level by expanding to 34 teams doesn't take a little bit of a dip? Because I'm super happy with where the game is right now. I think the game of hockey is at one of the best places it's ever been in the history of the league. The quality of play is so darn good. And we gotta just make sure that expanding too fast doesn't dilute the talent of hockey players. Like, let's just make sure we got enough talent to support 50 more contracts times 2, 100 more contracts for these 2 teams. So let's just make sure of that. And lastly, in terms of things that aren't that great for expansion, it's harder to win. It's harder to win for everybody out there. Every season, you got a 1 in 30 chance of winning the Stanley Cup. And then it became Seattle and Vegas joined, so you have a 1 in 32 chance of winning the cup. And then you got 2 more teams, and then you have a 1 in 34 chance of winning the cup. I'm rooting for the Leafs to get one before I am in the ground. If they keep adding teams, the Leafs getting one becomes less and less likely each and every year. So expansion brings that as well, which isn't great for all of us that haven't seen our team celebrate in our entire lives. Expansion is a tricky issue. We have to accept that it is happening. It's not all positive. There are some positives. I think it is good for the game to have more fans in more places. Having hockey fans in Atlanta, having a team to root for is awesome. More NHL teams in more places means more fans of the game, which means the game is bigger. And as I outlined at the beginning, there are American markets to tap into because the NHL isn't in as many American markets as the other leagues. Expansion is coming. I think at the end of the day, the pros and the pros probably outweigh the cons, but I hope that we don't just go into it with all the cheering of yay, let's go, and not acknowledge that it's not all good. It's good, but it's not all good. How do you feel about expansion? Are you on the let's just do it, it's good for the game? Or are you on the side of, like, I don't like this, but I have to accept it because the NHL and Gary Bettman and the owners are forcing it on me? Let me know what you think in the comments on the Jesse Blake Sports Report YouTube channel. While you're there, don't forget to hit like. Don't forget to hit subscribe. And I will see you again here very soon. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be watching or listening, and I appreciate you for that. Good night from Toronto.